bit of space on the right-hand side to work with now. They might go direct. It's a cross instead. Surely it's a handball in the penalty area, but by the Senegal attackers. Clement Siapa saw that as well. Ismail Assar tried to control it. Just over on the left-hand side of the penalty area, the cross rather curved behind everybody. Assar stooped down to try and control it, but as it curled further and further away from him, it curled further away from his chest and onto his right arm. That's doing little to dampen the spirits of the Senegalese dancers in green and yellow and red. Brilliant, brilliant atmosphere created by both sets. To fans, but Senegal are certainly playing their part. They know they need to roar their team on to victory. The Lions of Teranga needing the 3 points, and they could and perhaps should be leading. Still Ecuador 0, Senegal 0 here. Coming up towards 20 minutes, and Senegal are attempting to attack down the right hand side. Did they dig out a corner? Idrissa Gana Gueye thinks he did. Pierre Hincapié throw that ball over to the corner, because it did take a last touch off him. He picked it up, Hincapié, thinking he'd done the job and marshalled it out for an Ecuador goal kick, but instead it'll be a corner to Senegal over on their right flank. Ecuador with their very dark blue shorts and socks and bright the danger in the left back area. Senegal haven't really been broken down yet. Ecuador suffering more in terms of defence than Senegal. They've taken the initiative as Abdou Diallo gets it restarted. Senegal in their own half. They launch it long from right to left. It's out by the touchline, halfway down into the Ecuador half. Ismail Assar has been penalised. That's a very heavy challenge on Angelo Preciado, who's down in some pain. Assar had to control the long ball that was switching across. He didn't quite get the first touch right. It took 2 touches off Assar, rolled away from him. That's what allowed Preciado to come in. And with the 2 players at that kind of momentum, it was a very, very hefty collision. Preciado still down, prostrate on the turf. Hands over his head. A grimace on his face. He looks to be in real pain here. I'm surprised that no physio's on with him already by now, because they're getting a stretcher lined up over by the dugouts. And Valencia having a word with his coach, Gustavo Alfaro. And now Moises Caicedo as well having a word. But as I say, the stretcher's being prepared. But we haven't seen anybody actually from the Ecuador team waved onto the pitch to get some treatment to Angelo Preciado. It's a really nasty challenge. Not sure Sarr meant too much. When you've controlled the long ball and let it roll away from yourself, you've got that urge to just leap back in to try and make up for your error. He did so at the expense of Preciado, who's played 27 times for Ecuador before tonight. Got his whole arm across the body of Preciado to stop him running clear on the wings. Sarr, who's been moved to a more attacking position today, the cause of this trouble for Angelo Preciado. He's back on his feet now with the medical team around him. just testing out that left leg. It might be a dead leg at best, perhaps. I know perhaps for you and I, a dead leg doesn't sound too much, but for a top sportsman, it can be the end of your day if you're unlucky. 21 minutes on the clock. Ecuador 0, Senegal 0 here on flashscore.co.uk and on the mobile app as well. Just about halfway through this first period. Senegal missing chances. Idrissa Gana Gueye with the first one inside 3 minutes. He flashed a shot wide from inside the penalty area when he really should have hit the target. And he would have backed him to score there against Hernan Galindez. The ball had come all the way across the penalty area. The keeper had been positioned at the front post and then had to adjust to the back post. It was odds on. Gana Gueye, the Everton man, should have opened the scoring early doors for Senegal, but he didn't. It's Ecuador 0, Senegal 0. And Ecuador have a throw-in just near the halfway line now. And back into the centre circle, Ecuador. Moving it to the left-hand side and back over the halfway line. Just keeping it in the midfield. The low tempo at the moment. They've taken the sting out of the early attack from Senegal. No wonder Ecuador wanted to do that. Senegal certainly looked like they had the upper hand in the early stages. That's evened out rather for now. Moises Caicedo goes back towards the edge of his own penalty area. Piero Hincapié is waiting. And Ecuador look towards the right. They're up towards the halfway line. A little flick from Preciado, who's back on his feet and apparently looking in fine fettle, because that was a nice flick to try and release a teammate. Down the right hand side. It didn't work though. Senegal have it back and they'll launch one down over the halfway line into the centre circle. Quick touch inside from Senegal and they might get a breakaway here. They've got runners forward, 3 men forward waiting in the D now for Senegal. Make that 4. They've got it on the right hand side, 15 yards out from the edge of the penalty area. Now going down towards the corner of the box. Boulaye Dia, another man to have missed a good chance, gets it across to the middle. But Senegal have their pass blocked. Tucked up against the byline, halfway into the Ecuador half, but Ecuador have wrestled that back. And Pervis Estupiñán gets it back to goalkeeper Hernan Galindez. He launches it with the right foot up towards the halfway line. Headers won by Senegal just into their own half. They nod it down and back into the Ecuador half. Preciado battling for it, but it stayed in. Ismail Assar on the left-hand side. Up against Torres. Corner of the box. Sarr has a shot, and that's not far over. Another chance. A more difficult one at that for Senegal. That really came from nowhere. Pape Gueye winning the header well. Ismail Assar just battling for it against Angelo Preciado. He cut back in from the left-hand side of the penalty area. Cut onto his right foot, teed the ball up for himself to have a go with a curler on the instep of that right boot. But Sarr bent it just wide. To their defensive positions. They still have it on the edge of the box, looking for options forward as Aliou Cissé in his grey tracksuit can be seen down below the stand here, just wandering up and down inside or slightly outside his technical area to be precise. His hands, both arms extended, hands whirling, swirling, offering instructions as to the shape of his Senegalese defenders. But But Ecuador have not been able to test them yet. 25 minutes and more have gone. Ecuador have got a chance to break on the left here, but they've taken it very, very slowly. Estupinian still on the ball, down level with the edge of the penalty area. Ecuador throw in over on their left-hand side. Still Ecuador 0, Senegal 0. Estupinian, who's moved to left back today, he's got the ball in his hands. He throws it back down towards the halfway line. Thought for a second he might take the more attacking option and try and get that one down. The left flank and into the penalty area for Ecuador, a place that they've not occupied much tonight. Ecuador now giving it away. On the left-hand side. Senegal have it back in the centre. Challenge goes Ecuador's way though. They'll have it back near the centre circle. They spread it towards the right-hand side. Preciado. He's got an option on the right. The pass isn't a good one though. It takes the momentum away from Gonzalo Plata, who we've hardly seen tonight. Plata cuts inside. Chance to whip one into the box. It's low rather than high. He was 15 yards outside the box. I thought he might curl one high towards the penalty spot. Instead, he offered something halfway between a cross and a shot. It was a low ball in towards the middle of the Senegal goal, but it was very easily cleared, and Senegal launch it long down the right-hand side quickly. Hincapié has to come across and do the defending. Rolls over after making the challenge, looks up at the linesman above him, hoping that he's going to get a free kick for Ecuador, but he doesn't. The linesman's flag, in his yellow and orange colours, is pointed towards the corner. That means it's a Senegal throw-in. They've got it with Iliman Ndiaye. It's back halfway into Ecuador's territory, and they go out to the left now, down level with the penalty area, but they've run out of space. Ecuador have it back, but they can't pass it up the line. Senegal still have it, and they keep going, and it's into the centre circle. Eventually, the cross comes in from the left-hand side, down low towards the penalty spot. Ismail Assar whipped it in. It wasn't a bad delivery, but there was nobody quite in the right position. Iliman Ndiaye was racing towards it, but it bounced right in front of him on the penalty spot, and he could only poke his toe at it. Sent the ball dribbling towards Hernan Galindez. Ecuador 0, Senegal 0. It's not the case in the simultaneous match in Group A though. Cody Gakpo again has got on the score sheet for the Netherlands. You can hear that game live on flashscore.co.uk and the mobile app as well. Netherlands 1, Qatar 0, half an hour in. It is, in all honesty, the result we expected. This game somewhat relegated to the B position for many TV networks, preferring to go with Netherlands, one of the favourites, to lift the cup against Qatar, the hosts. However, with Qatar already eliminated and Netherlands looking odds on to progress, this game is where the real drama lies, potentially, in Group A today at the Khalifa International Stadium. It's a direct shootout between Ecuador and Senegal. A draw would be enough for Ecuador. Senegal must win to qualify. They beat Bolivia not that long ago. That was one of the games that they were planned under Aliou Cissé to get ready for this game against Ecuador. You never quite know how similar these teams are, and it's based potentially on geography. Got a game against Ecuador, why don't we play against Bolivia? But they came through that one comfortably. Good idea. Getting an early goal, and Sadio Mane scoring from the penalty spot in that one as well. Sadio Mane, of course, the biggest absence, the most notable absence from this Senegal team, but they've done well without him so far. Tonight, even though with more than half an hour gone. It's still Ecuador 0, Senegal 0. It has been Senegal with the lion's share of the chances. They've looked the more dangerous team on the break. They've looked the more dangerous team down the flanks as well. And that time a clearance from Hincapié just bounces off the Senegal attacker straight away off Idrissa Gana Gueye. He's a little unfortunate to see that one go straight out for a goal kick to Ecuador. Well, the fans who have packed in here to the Khalifa International Stadium will have enjoyed what they've seen so far. It's only missing goals. Senegal could and should have got one by now, but it's still level at 0-0. Ecuador have it in the right back position with Preciado. Now they passed it towards the halfway line, but they're facing their own goal now and only go back towards their own goal as Gonzalo Plata picks it up under heavy pressure and has to go back into the back four with Felix Torres. And now Pierre Hincapié scored once for his nation. Hincapié, the 20-year-old, scored once as well this season for Leverkusen in his 13 appearances. Hard to imagine him getting forward enough tonight, though. Ecuador seeing slightly more of the ball, 43% to Senegal's 40. New stats now with the 17% in contest. Slightly surprising though, Senegal of course have done more with less of the ball. Ecuador have it on the halfway line. They launch one long, trying to bypass the Senegal defence. It's not going to work. It's too simple. There's a very clever header from Kalidou Koulibaly out towards Youssouf Sabaly. Battle over on the right hand side, right on the halfway line, and it's Ecuador's throw in when Senegal players started running down the wing, looking for that throw in. They thought it had gone their way, but it hadn't. And here's En Valencia, first time in an attacking position for Valencia. He's gone down clutching his right leg. Didn't look to be much in it. It was a challenge from Kalidou Koulibaly. Valencia was trying to win a free kick there, down by the touchline on the left-hand side. It's halfway down into the parallel area to the penalty area on the left for Ecuador, but nonetheless, didn't work out for Ecuador on that occasion. Now Edouard Mendy has it in the D. He can knock it out under no pressure at all to his centre-back pairing, Abdou Diallo. Goes back towards Mendy with a lack of other options. Ecuador with Hervis Estupiñán. They try and make some gains down the left-hand side, but the ball's run out of play for a Senegal throw-in down halfway into their own half. Senegal will have it with the right back, Youssouf Sabaly, you'd imagine. Ecuador still finding inroads very, very hard to come by, and that's perhaps a bit of a surprise for a team that outplayed the Netherlands for much of the 1-1 draw in the last game. Ecuador looked so vibrant. In the attack on that game, Senegal so far have just been able to take the sting out of the Ecuador attack. They've offered very, very little in the Senegal half. Senegal have it now on the halfway line. Plenty of players forward in the Ecuador half if they want to use somebody. And they've gone direct into the box, and that could be a really good chance. Keeper scrambling for it, Hernan Galindez. He came down and got it. That was a heart-in-mouth moment for the Ecuadorian defenders, though. Senegal playing that more like American football than the beautiful game. They had it right on the halfway line. Ecuador expected a short ball. They came long into the box. defence were at 6s and 7s there. Keeper Galindez came out to it. The gloves of Hernan Galindez did indeed get down to the ball. Ecuador's blushes. That would have been so simple for Senegal. Free kick has gone Senegal's way. Estepinian, the Brighton man, only 24 years of age. Former Villarreal and Watford player. Knows what it's like to play in a yellow shirt, evidently. Evis Estepinian. He's been one of the shining lights on this Ecuador team in the World Cup so far. So heavily involved in their last few games. His shot led to the tap-in for Enner Valencia against the Netherlands. His finish as well ruled offside, but it's a Senegal free kick on the right-hand side, 40 yards out. They swing it into the box, it's headed up and over the top. The keeper does a customary tap on his crossbar as he jumps for it, Hernan Galindez, but he will have known about half a second before he did that there was no danger in it, and the ball was sailing on. And it's cleared out for a throw-in. Ecuador are going to remonstrate with the referee here, and I'm sure they'll be talking about the challenge that happened just 20. Seconds ago or so, but Ismaila Sarr for Senegal is keen to get on with this quickly. Takes a throw in down by the touchline on the right hand side. The cross comes in, took a little nick on the way through. Deflected harmlessly towards the front post where Hernan Galindez was waiting for it. Galindez, his gel dark hair and his beard, just swinging his right hand, ushering players forward for Ecuador, but Ecuador still do have a man down. They're coming back to say, how about that challenge? Evis Estepinian's not happy. Train is going to come on. Looks like it's Caicedo who's caught in the challenge with Ismaila Sarr. It's not the first time that Sarr's been involved in a hefty collision today. Really went into that one. The referee was absolutely happy with it. Full-blooded challenge, you'd say, in that midfield position as Senegal attempted to cut Ecuador's break short, and that is exactly what they did. Ecuador still very much struggling to break forwards in this game. Both managers, Aliou Cisse and Gustavo Alfaro, switched their lineups to 4-3-3 for this game. They're not exactly cancelling each other out, but Senegal have had 10 attempts on goal and 3 on target. Ecuador with 2 attempts on goal, neither of which has been on target. Both of them have been easily marshalled and blocked away by the Senegal defence, it has to be said. 5 minutes to go of normal time. It's Ecuador 0, Senegal 0 here on flashscore.co.uk and on the mobile app as well. Ecuador looking for a goal that would take them to within touching distance of the last 16 of this World Cup, knowing that Senegal have to win the game. A draw not enough for Aliou Cisse. They get a clear Senegal from the left-back position. High, the ball comes down, I would say with snow on it. That's because it's almost December, and in Qatar, of course. You can put the ball as high as you like, and it ain't going to come down with snow on it. Ecuador with the free kick under no pressure inside their own half. Defensive free kick, they go back towards the centre-backs. Torres and Capier knocking it about between themselves. Just 10 yards in front of their penalty area, and this time they swing it out to the right-hand side, just over the halfway line. Preciado brought it down, and that time Preciado let it go on the control. And it was his turn, the number 17 for Ecuador, to dive in and commit the foul against Gay. Senegal in the penalty area. Collision. As Clement Turpin pointed to Pan as well. Turpin all in black. He's ushering the players outside the penalty area, and it looks as though Iliman Ndiaye will be the man to step up and take this spot kick, and it is indeed a spot kick for Senegal. It wouldn't be undeserved. And now Aliou Cisse, who's been out of his technical area the whole game long, is standing at the very back of his dugout, with his black cap pulled down. It's not quite that he can't watch, but his body language is suggesting it. And he's handed the ball off to Ismail Assar. He's played 38 times for Senegal before today. He's scored 10 goals. Can Ismail Assar put Senegal temporarily into a position to reach the knockout stages? They've been the better team in the first half. They're waiting for the whistle from Clement Turpin. The ball rests on the spot. The bronze boots of Hernan Galindez are being reminded that they must be anchored to the goal line. Sarr for Senegal. Sarr from the spot. And Sarr scores for Senegal. They lead 1-0 just before the interval at the Khalifa International Stadium. Is that the crucial moment for Senegal in this game? Ecuador have been forced back for pretty much all of the first 45 minutes, and Senegal had gone unrewarded, but not now. Sarr stroked it into the bottom corner. Galindez didn't move. Senegal strike first in this knockout game. It's not the knockout rounds yet, but only one of these two can go through. And at the moment, it's Senegal who are in position. They're still down by the corner flag, celebrating. Hugs all round, plenty of teammates over there. Substitutes over there. The whole of the Senegal bench forward to celebrate, of course. Ismail Assar puts his hand over his eyes for his celebration. But how calm was his penalty? He took a little jump in the run-up. A couple of little steps before he met the ball. No hint of a stoppage. Nothing unfair. But when he saw Galindez committing himself one way, Ismail Assar just stroked the ball with the instep of his right foot, and he couldn't have placed it much better, you have to say. It was right into the inside of the side netting, just inside the post. Assar with his 11th goal for Senegal, his first at the FIFA World Cup, and what a time to do it. 6 minutes added on now. I said earlier we wouldn't get too much stoppage time. We had one stoppage while the physio came out earlier on. That would have accounted for 2 or 3 minutes, and the penalty now, which has given Senegal that 1-0 lead, has accounted for the other couple of minutes. Ecuador 0, Senegal 1 now. 1 minute of the 6 added minutes already played. Youssouf Sabaly tees the ball up whilst facing his own goal. Goes for an acrobatic clearance with an overhead kick, and it's out near the halfway line for a throw into Ecuador. And honestly, Gustavo Alfaro's team will have to up their game. You can't say that it's been on as even in this first half. Ecuador have not offered much at all going forward. Suddenly, the group table sees Netherlands in first place with 7 points. Senegal moving into second with 6, and here they come again on the left-hand side. Ecuador would be in third as it stands, but they've got defending to do before they can think about registering an equaliser in this game. Senegal's ball in towards the penalty spot. It bounces down. Ilman Ndiaye gets a shot off, but it trickles away harmlessly in the end. Ndiaye tried to just lift his controlling touch back over. He picked up the ball just over past the far post, midway into the penalty area. Tried to lift it back with his right foot to tee himself up for a shot on his left. When he did take the shot, he scuffed it rather horribly. And it bounced down and away for an Ecuador goal kick. They've certainly been the better team in this first half. There's a bit of nonsense going on down in the corner here. It's off the pitch. It's down beyond the byline. Referee's over, linesman's over as well. It's just a messy end to the first 45, and I wonder what the ramifications of this will be. Just after the ball had gone out of play, Ecuador were trying to get it back across behind the byline towards Hernan Galindez. Today, that's not his fault. The whole team have struggled. But there was a big shove on Youssouf Sabaly, the Senegal right back, who was trying to slow things up there as Ecuador looked to get restarted. But there was almost nothing in it until Sabaly got a big shove. Valencia felt a little bit of contact. From the toes of the Senegal man, and Valencia threw himself to the ground, the Ecuador captain. But all that's done has caused the Senegal fans to shout louder in the stands at the Khalifa International Stadium, because the time is ticking away towards half-time. 45 plus 6 on the clock. Aliou Cissé for Enner Valencia, who's looking for yet another Ecuador goal. It's Jeremy Sarmiento who's come on for the beginning of the second half, along with Jose Cifuentes. Michael Estrada, centre forward for Ecuador, who we saw almost nothing of in the first 45. He's down on the ground, having won a free kick for his team just into Senegal's half. It's their first meeting against African opposition. Up until today, they've had a very, very strong defence. Before this game, they'd only faced 7 shots at the World Cup, making them one of the best or strongest defences in this World Cup. But they were under the cosh for almost the whole first half. Senegal came out of the blocks flying. A huge chance for Idrissa Gana Gueye after 3 minutes, and another one for Boulaye Dia after 8 minutes. But now it's Ecuador's turn to have an attack. They launch a high ball in from the free kick out on the right flank in towards the penalty spot. It's headed away easily. Very comfortable defending for the white shirts of Senegal. At the moment, the Lions of Teranga untroubled by everything that Ecuador thrown at them. There's a long, long way to go in this game, though. We're glad to have you on board for the second half here at flashscore.co.uk and on the mobile app as well, if you're enjoying this coverage. Of course, there are more games later. You might be home from work by then. You might have access to a TV. Even so, the games are simultaneous between the United States of America and Iran, and Wales against England as well. Definitely check those games out. They're kicking off at 7 o'clock UK time, 8 o'clock Central European time. I won't cover every world time zone, but we hope that wherever you are in the world watching these games or enjoying the coverage of these games, at least you're able to share in the atmosphere of this World Cup here on Flashscore. Ecuador have it halfway into Senegal territory in a central position. Nkapie thought about launching a shot with his left foot from about 30 yards out, and he does that for Leverkusen. There will be a low shot coming in instead from the right. Straight down into the gloves of Edouard Mendy, though. It was a daisy cutter that was easy for him to hold. A little bit of impetus coming from the substitutes bench there. So Stacey Fuentes, who took that shot, although he didn't have much chance of beating Edouard Mendy. He was up there with the best opportunities that Ecuador have mustered in this game so far. It was a 30-yard low effort and a comfortable save, but that says it all. The Senegal fans are still singing. There's a brilliant group. Everyone clad in the green, yellow and red t-shirts emblazoned with the star of the Senegal flag. But as well, in front of them, there's a whole body paint crew with all the letters of Senegal spelled out, and they have been dancing non-stop at the Khalifa International Stadium. The team have given them every reason to do so. Pathé Ciss commits a free kick, commits a foul, giving Ecuador the free kick over on the left-hand side, 10 yards into Senegal's half, over by the touchline on the left-hand side. It's not an easy position to do too much with it, other than either go short or take the early cross. Ecuador with 6 players lined up on the edge of the penalty area. It's high towards the back post, too high, too far for everybody. Can fight for it down by the byline, and instead it's a bit of ill discipline from Angelo Preciado. Just gets his hands out, tugs down the Senegal defender. Ismail Jacobs was able to deal with the danger. Senegal pick up a free kick down near their own corner flag. They launch it away, and it's miscontrolled as well by Felix Torres, who tried to meet that as it came down and just saw it wriggle away straight off his toes and out for a Senegal throw-in up by the dugout for Ecuador into Ecuador's half on the left-hand side. talk before this game was revolving around Enner Valencia, the record that was up for grabs for him today. If he scores Ecuador's first goal in this match, that's a big if as it stands at the moment, 5 minutes after the break. If indeed he does score the first goal for Ecuador, he would have scored their last 7 consecutively in World Cup finals. 6 in a row at the moment, stretching back over 3 World Cups. Free kick, Senegal halfway into their own half. Yusuf Sabali had let the ball just get away from himself there, but had his toes trodden on by the other substitute, Jeremy Sarmiento. He's only 20 years of age, Jeremy Sarmiento, another one, of course, intended by Gustavo Alfaro to bring a bit of a second wind to this Ecuador team. I could say second wind, but it's not quite right, really, because there wasn't the first one from Ecuador in the first half. They've not offered very much at all so far. Senegal have snuffed out every hint of an Ecuador attack so far. It's back with the Ecuador keeper, Hernan Galindez, inside his 6-yard box. Boulaye Dia was closing it down, but he launches it forward and over the halfway line. Senegal have it back. And now Ecuador with the second ball with Cifuentes back to the centre back in Capié. Penalised for the spot kick, which has given Senegal the lead here. Early stages of the second half. It's Ecuador 0, Senegal 1. Senegal heading to the knockouts as it stands. Ecuador now on the right. This is one of them more promising attacks. Ball across the middle. Side-footed away. No danger. There's a chance though. Angelo Preciado over on right. Got down by the byline and he was unmarked. Able to cut the low ball back across the box, but couldn't find a teammate. Big Genk man. 24 years of age, Angelo Preciado. Appearance number 28 for Ecuador tonight, a 28th international cap. One that he would like to mark in a memorable fashion. Ecuador spending more time in the Senegal final third now, but Senegal standing firm for now. Ecuador have it back. Centre circle. Felix Torres looks out towards the right-hand side. Gets it back. The man playing Santos in Mexico. This time he goes left. He's out for a throw-in over on the left-hand side, just into Senegal's territory, just about 5 metres away from the halfway line. The ball's trickled much, much further down than that. Must have been about another 10 or 15 extra metres. Ecuador took advantage of it and threw that straight into the penalty area, but it was headed away on the corner of the box. Senegal now chasing this out, but Ecuador can start again. They launch that down towards the left-hand side of the penalty area. No control though from Enner Valencia. The ball bounced awkwardly in front of him. He stuck his left leg out at it, the Fenerbahce man. Couldn't bring it down. Still some smiling faces in the crowd with Ecuador jerseys and Ecuador flags on, but those smiles show an underlying nervousness because Senegal just a second for Ismail Jacobs, the defender. Could perhaps be Jacobs, given his upbringing in Germany and the fact he used to play for Cologne and the Germany under-21 side as well. The Germany Youth International, now on cap number 5 for Senegal. All the 23-year-old doing well tonight. Here he is again, Ismail Jacobs. He goes inside to the centre-backs. Diallo launches it long. Ecuador pick it up 10 yards into their own half, and now they advance over the halfway line in a central position. got it facing their own goal, back into the centre circle and back over the halfway line towards their own goalkeeper, and they've got it with Jose Cifuentes. They've tried to just bring an extra dimension to Ecuador's game. It hasn't quite worked yet, but it's more promising than the first half. Elsewhere, it's Netherlands 2, Qatar 0 now. Now, in the other game in Group A, Netherlands extending the lead courtesy of Frenkie de Jong. They're looking nailed on as group winners now. Senegal head it away from the left corner of their own penalty area. They win the knockdown as well, but Ecuador eventually will pick up the loose ball, and again it's the substitute Cifuentes. Special header to score from there. Estupinian it was with the left-footed cross from out on the left touchline. It was a stooping header from Mikel Estrada, but went out close to the edge of the 6-yard box. Corner of the 6-yard box. No danger at all for Edouard Mendy in the Senegal goal. That has been a recurring theme today. Mendy yet to make a meaningful save. Ecuador just losing their footing as they tried to bring it down the left-hand side. Senegal looking to launch their first break of the second half. Not possible at the moment. You have to remember, as the referee played advantage to Ecuador here, and suddenly the ball's gone, it's back with Senegal, and referee Clement Turpin does indeed bring it back for advantage Ecuador. Free kick's not in a dangerous position, it's right in the middle of the field. But nonetheless, you have to remember, as comfortable as Senegal look right now, their lead suddenly starts to feel very tender when you reconsider that Ecuador only need to draw today to go back ahead of Senegal. If this creeps towards full time, as it stands at Ecuador 0, Senegal 1, it's going to get very very nervy indeed for Aliou Cissé's team, and anybody indeed enjoying this coverage who's of Senegal persuasion. It's going to get nervy for you too. There'll be some sweaty palms out there. There'll be some sweaty players as well. Ecuador launch a throw-in this time. I mean, launching all sorts into the box in this half, but that time from crosses from deep. This one was a throw. Common denominator for all of them. They've not been on the best run coming into this World Cup, but the way they blew Qatar away on the opening day, in the opening match, in fact, of this World Cup, that caught people's attentions. And then the fact that they outplayed the Netherlands for large periods in their 1-1 draw last time out, that got people fancying Ecuador. But at the moment, Senegal dealing with their threat very, very nicely. Free kick to Senegal on the left-hand side of the area. Over an hour played now. Ecuador 0, Senegal 1. The current score. Enough hands for Aliou Cissé's Senegal team. But now they have a free kick over on the left-hand side with Ismail Jacobs. Might have a chance to curl this one in with his left foot. There's another option as well with Gana Gueye, and it is Idrissa Gana Gueye. Swings it towards the penalty spot, but again, yellow shirts that get that away. There's been so many crosses towards the penalty spot today. Nobody's gone post, nobody's gone back post, everybody's gone in the middle. the middle, and each time a large clump of defensive shirts have been able to get the ball away. Just the one penalty separating the two teams. Senegal really should have scored by now from open play though. Idrissa Gana Gueye missing a huge chance, as well as teammate Boulaye Dia. Forward, that's going to be offside for Senegal. They pass it down towards the right-hand side of the penalty area, but indeed the flag had been raised against Ismaila Sarr, who's been very, very busy today. Sarr's thrown himself into challenges all over the pitch. And his most notable contribution at the moment will be the fact that he stroked in the penalty on 44 minutes. Senegal this advantage. More substitutions being lined up. The Ecuador bench, Gustavo Alfaro obviously feeling that his changes so far have got things moving in the right direction, but he needs another little boost to help Ecuador here. Senegal running forward into Ecuador territory. You guessed it, it's that man again, Ismaila Sarr, who's been the star of this game. Jose Cifuentes brought him down from behind, had to haul him down to stop him bursting clear into territory. As it stands, he only made it about 12 metres or so past the halfway line before being hauled down. Sarr has just fought and scrapped for everything at the Khalifa International Stadium today. His goal gives Senegal the movement. Senegal free kick into the penalty area. This time they do aim. Another hopeful chase. Edouard Mendy would have been the number one candidate to win the ball in any case, that's for sure. But Idrissa Gana Gueye certainly held on and then some to stop Gonzalo Plata running past him. Riasco comes on now for Ecuador. All, but it's Ecuador again who look to the bench. They need to change things with more urgency than Senegal, that's for sure. Wonderfully named Jokaef Riasco coming on, 23 years of age. His football at Newell's Old Boys. It's another favourite amongst English language speakers. Newell's Old Boys, some of these teams in South America, named after founders and all sorts. Newell's Old Boys in Argentina. What can Riasco do though? He's an attacking player. He needs to get onto the ball in the attacking half, but for now Senegal have it in the Ecuador penalty area. They slide it away though, Ecuador, with Piero Hincapié. He prevents the corner on the left hand. Side was just drifting towards the byline there before Hincapié managed to get it. Sarmiento on the left-hand side. He passes it inside, and now they come in again to Cifuentes, and they spread it towards the right. Preciado. No space for Ecuador on the ball at the moment. Big challenge comes in from Senegal. It's Idrissa Gana Gueye again with a hefty one, and he's going to go into the book now. It's his second one in the matter of minutes against the same player, Gonzalo Plata. The Valladolid man, Gonzalo Plata, who hit the bar. A stunning strike against the Netherlands. This time the only thing that was hit was his face with the shoulder of Idrissa Gana Gueye. in the book. Referee Turpan has done very well today, you have to say, to manage this game. It's not descended into anything like the chaos that it could do, given what's at stake for both of these two teams. That foul on Plata has the Ecuador fans in the crowd here at the Khalifa International Stadium, gesturing in a prayer-like motion because they need something, they need a miracle, in all honesty, to get level in this game. Senegal, again, with a kick to defend, and they head it behind for a corner. Ecuador's ball in wasn't bad. It was good enough to earn them a second chance. Launch this one in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and it's in at the back post for Ecuador. Out of nowhere, they have leveller. Moises Caicedo. And suddenly Ecuador are back in position. Senegal haven't deserved to concede, but Ecuador were not about to give up. It's not one of the substitutes who scored the goal, but Gustavo Alfaro, the coach, will feel that it's his substitutions that have made this possible. Because all of a sudden it's Ecuador 1, Senegal 1, and now suddenly the looks of relief, not just on the players. Faces, but on the fans' faces as well. They know that that's a game changer and it's a group changer as well. Caicedo was found in space at the back post. The corner was flicked on. It's the best set-piece delivery we've had all night. And with a man on the front post, there's no hint of offside. Caicedo was completely alone at the back post. The flick on header was really well done by Felix Torres. He got up highest on the edge of the 6-yard box. To just glance it back towards Moises Caicedo. And Caicedo we're going to be able to turn the tide in this game, but it doesn't have to be the tide that's turned. You don't need a pendulum swing or a shift in momentum. You just need one chance. That's what Ecuador carved out for themselves. And that's what Moises Caicedo was able to tuck in. But now, Senegal have a free kick up the other end. They've got a chance to get something into the box. It's over on the right-hand side for Senegal. About 35 yards out, and they get that swung in towards the 6-yard box, and it's into the back of the net for Senegal. The flag stays down, and it's Kalidou Koulibaly. His first goal for Senegal, and what a time to do it! Just when it looked as though Ecuador were back in contention here, Senegal have struck again, and they found a second. Ecuador were level for all of 2 minutes before Kalidou Koulibaly scored in not too dissimilar circumstances to the way that the equaliser fell from Ecuador just seconds ago. Senegal celebrate once again. The subs are out off the bench once again. The staff in their grey tracksuits are out. Everybody's out in the left-hand corner of the pitch. The free kick came from Idrissa Gana Gueye with the right foot. It was a defensive touch in the middle that could only steer the ball back towards the front post. 2 Ecuador defenders were over to it. Enes Valencia was one of them. Hermes Estupiñán the other, and they've rather gone in each other's way and just sent the ball hurtling towards the front post. And Kalidou Koulibaly, who must have thought that was coming nowhere near him, suddenly, as he ran towards the front post, suddenly Koulibaly saw the ball. He probably saw it in slow motion. It just drifted back at a nice height towards centre-back and captain Koulibaly, and he was able to cushion the ball back with the instep and tuck it away past Hernan Galindez. Ecuador 1, Senegal 2. What a brilliant phase of football we've got now, and this is living up to be the Group A showdown that we expected and that we wanted. You're live here on flashscore.co.uk and on the mobile app as well. It's Ecuador 1, Senegal 2 as it stands with just under 20 minutes still to play. We might get a little more than that in real time. Referee Clement Turpin gestures on now for both sets of trainers, both sets of physios, and the players are gesturing for it too, because there was a hefty clash of heads there. It's not in a dangerous position in terms of the attack, but it'll be a very painful one for both players. Koulibaly stands over there, say, readying some changes as well. It looks like Ahmadou Bamba Dieng will come on. He scored already at this World Cup. Before there was a chance to update the table, with Ecuador moving back into second position, suddenly is Senegal again, who occupy the all-important second. But very comfortable in first. They're 2-0 up and cruising against Qatar. They've just had another one. Ruled out actually. Stephen Berghuis nearly made it a third. More than 300 games for Napoli, his former club as well. Surprisingly, dominant centre-back Kalidou Koulibaly is not known for his goal-scoring prowess, and he took that one very well, you have to say. Yusuf Sabali is back on his feet. Pervis Estupiñán is back on his feet as well. They're the two players at the clash of heads just a moment ago. Good to see them both back up. That will add a couple of minutes of stoppage time at the end of this game, which might work in the favour of Ecuador, of course, because although they will be reeling from that blow that Senegal struck just as they could start to imagine themselves being back in second place and start to get a bit comfortable after levelling. It's a sucker punch from Senegal, not even 2 minutes after the goal. Ali Mendy is on now for Senegal. Ahmadou Bamba Dieng is the other change as well. Daï gone off, and Daï was very busy in the first half. Sheffield United man. What has been so far a very memorable third cap for Senegal. He's gone off, he will play no further part. And Paris Mendy now, Luis Torres goes across the defence. For Ecuador. Got it over on the left-hand side. They look for something down the left. A couple of bobbles, but the loose ball does fall their way in the end. Senegal have to smash it away clear. There's nobody waiting for it. It's gone all the way down. It's trickling and rolling down the right flank for Senegal. There's no one in a white shirt over there. It's just Hernan Galindez, the goalkeeper. Ecuador have to pick themselves up. They've got to dust themselves off, and they've got to go again here. It's with Galindez on the penalty spot. No pressure from Senegalese players. They've got three forwards. They're not moving out of that 4-3-3 formation, but front three don't need to do the high press right now. Ecuador ride one challenge. They've got it on the corner of the penalty area. They launch it towards the other. It's over into the middle on the penalty spot for Ecuador. Shooting chance in the box. It's Mendy was gratefully waiting for it. Now here comes Senegal on the left into the penalty area. Sarr in towards the byline. He's looking for a penalty there. He's gone down, Sarr. Referee didn't see anything wrong. Still down over by the front post. Referee says there's a corner there. It's another in the latest of a long line of battles now between Ismaila Sarr and Angelo Preciado. That time Preciado was struggling to get back as Sarr burst in, almost running along the byline there towards the goal. Sarr hit the deck. Referee Tuapan felt that the last touch came off Preciado though. Senegal have a corner on their left-hand side. 77 minutes gone. Ecuador 1, Senegal 2 on flashscore.co.uk and on the mobile app. Elsewhere, the Netherlands cruising against Qatar. It's all about this game. Second place in the group. The corner comes in, it's headed away simply at the front post. That's not really good enough for Senegal. They look like a team don't desperately need to commit everything for a second goal, but their one goal margin is a slim one and it's a slender one. We've got another corner here. Fuentes coming across to do his defensive duties. He took the last touch, and again Senegal corner over on the left. Down on the spot. Dancing Senegal fans with body paint spelling out the name of the nation. They're still loud and they're still proud, but this one's towards the yellow corner, or the yellow end of the Khalifa International Stadium, with the fans clad in their Ecuador jerseys, and Ecuador get the header away. And now they can try and launch a counter, but there's two men chasing it down, but it'll be a comfortable one for the Senegal defence. Anyway, they get it knocked back by Diallo. Hello to Edouard Mendy. Mendy goes long with his first touch. Ecuador get it away down the middle. They're still in their own half, but they've given it away cheaply there. Senegal pick it up halfway into Ecuador territory now. Look back towards the centre circle, and that's a good ball through to the right. It's a flick on towards D on the edge of the Ecuador box, but the defence, namely Felix Torres, managed to get it away. Camille prevents the corner. Ecuador still have it over by their own corner flag at left back. Now they hack it clear. It's rather basic stuff in the midfield from Papagay. Marseille man never made an attempt to clear that or control it rather. Instead, just put his boot through it. There's an Ecuador throw in, just 5 metres behind the halfway line. Ecuador on the left-hand side, now in the middle with Cifuentes, who's been very busy since coming on at half-time. By and large, Gustavo Alfaro's substitutes did make a bit of an impact, and they didn't probably have the required impact, and not the one that Alfaro would have wished for as the Ecuador coach. This hasn't been the display that we saw against the Netherlands. It hasn't been the cruising that we saw when they were playing against Qatar. The host nation barely laid a glove on them. That wasn't the case for Senegal, of course. Qatar had a really good spell in that game. It looked for a moment as though they could have got themselves back into it when they scored a lovely goal against the Senegal defence. Senegal struggling with everything in the air in their game against Qatar. Some good crosses led to a couple of excellent saves from Edouard Mendy, a couple of good defensive interventions as well. But tonight, Ecuador have not managed to dominate the aerial threat. They've won one header, and they did get a goal from it. But it's not been the story of the game. It's not been something that they've been able to use as a tactic. As Ecuador look for a switched ball from right to left, and they go straight out of play. And heads are beginning to slump. They're only one goal away from going through still, Ecuador. It's still balanced on a knife edge here at the Khalifa International Stadium in Doha. One more goal for Ecuador would be enough. Ecuador 1, Senegal 2. Ali Cisse again, marshalling the edge of his technical area. Here comes Senegal down the left-hand side. Ismail Assar, pushed up against the touchline. He goes back 10 yards into Ecuador territory, and now they go across to the right-hand side. It's flicked forward. It's a lovely turn. Edge of the penalty area, and that's just over. The shot was rifled in from the edge of the box by Boulaye Dia. It was a really good hit with the right foot. He dropped his shoulder to turn around, ran after it. It was a lovely move from the Senegal number 9, and his shot absolutely flew off the laces from Boulaye Dia, but it was just over the top of Hernan Galindez's goal. But that could have almost been curtains for Ecuador had that gone in. It would have been a marvellous goal as well. Ecuador dragged down to corner there somehow. Abdou Diallo isn't happy about it. He plays for RB Leipzig in Germany. Former Paris Saint-Germain and also Dortmund player as well. Monaco youth. Several of the Senegal players. Monaco youth. Diallo has played 5 times in the Bundesliga this season for Leipzig. Fought for most of that. Exchange that he was going to run that out of play for a goal kick, but in the end, last touch came off him, and in the end, actually, I stand corrected because there's an infringement spotted. The last touch from Diallo is not important, and he gets it away for Senegal. And there's back up the other end with Hernan Galindez in his sky blue jersey. Goalkeeper beaten twice tonight by Senegal. A long ball bouncing down the middle. There's one to chase. Senegal defence block off the run of Enner Valencia. He was trying to run into a cul-de-sac. There was a gap that was disappearing and disappearing. He felt that he was fouled. He tried to burst through the middle of 2 Senegal players. The 2 centre-backs as well, Diallo and Koulibaly, they were not allowed to let Enner Valencia nip through there, and they did not allow him. Seen them given as free kick. But the referee saw nothing wrong with the way Koulibaly Diallo closed off the ground as Enner Valencia went for it. Senegal have it again on the left-hand side, and once again they're pushed up against the touchline and they're forced back towards the halfway line. They switch it across with Diallo over to the right. Sabali's waiting. Okay, goes back. Senegal comfortable in possession at the moment. Ticking away for Ecuador. They trail 2-1 as it stands. Wales, England and Iran, USA coming up later at 7 o'clock UK time, 8 o'clock Central European time tonight on flashscore.co.uk and on the mobile app too. Now in this one, Senegal sitting in 2nd place, looking for a first win against the South American opponents. They lost their 2 encounters so far against Uruguay and Colombia, but those are all history compared to tonight's game. It could be a new type of history for Senegal if they were to come through this one. The Ecuador coach said he's not going for a draw, but just one One goal now would give them the draw that they need. That's all Ecuador are looking for. They've only beaten Cape Verde and Qatar. Recent games in 2022. Senegal defend a free kick and they win a free kick of their own. Youssouf Sabaly, who's been excellent again tonight after a brilliant performance against the Netherlands. Sabaly, 29-year-old, plays for Real Betis in La Liga. Another one with a French past at Paris Saint-Germain and Bordeaux. Now doing well at Real Betis. More importantly for Senegal fans, doing well for the national team at the FIFA World Cup. Gustavo Alfaro gesturing to his players. Once again, like it was for much of the first half, crowd in yellow and blue supporting Ecuador, just starting to put their hands over their eyes. They know that this is not working out for them. They've still got the lifeline that they only need one goal here. Battle for it in the centre circle. It's going to be a Senegal free kick though, just into Ecuador territory. Substitute Bamba Dieng just got in front of Hincapié there. Hincapié ending up putting both hands on both shoulders. Bamba Dieng didn't need any more of an invitation to hit the deck once the two hands came over his shoulders. And that's why it's a free kick. Of Ecuador, in favour of Senegal rather, in the Ecuador half. Launch it towards the penalty area. It's heading away on the edge of the box. Picked that up on the loose ball though. It's deflected. The keeper spilled it. Grabs it at the second attempt. Nearly a gift of a goal for Senegal there. Low shot in, it was bouncing awkwardly for Hernan Galíndez. Bobbled his initial attempt at grabbing it, but sprung forward well enough in the end to just about deny the on-rushing Senegal strikers the chance to tap it in on the rebound. It's a long ball direct into the D. Senegal get it away on the volley. Ecuador have it on the right-hand side. They're down just 5 metres away from the edge of the penalty area. It's back. Stupinian getting the delivery. Nobody could do anything with it really, and Mendy had an easy gather. Ate up a few seconds as well by grabbing the ball, letting his legs just fall away from underneath him and going down to the turf. Gratefully holding onto it as the clock ticks towards 90 minutes here. Senegal throw on the edge of the Ecuador technical area. It's halfway into the Ecuador half over on the left-hand side. It's Chanel Jacobs again. Busy up and down the left flank tonight. His throw-in's not a great one. It was in towards the corner of the box and headed straight back out. Gustavo Alfaro caught it. Jacobs again taking the throw in, and again it came right back towards him as we enter the 6 minutes of stoppage time. Fourth official is Vankovac. Signals that Ecuador have 6 minutes left to rescue their World Cup. It's headed up. Ecuador half still. Senegal volley it forward. It's a hit and hope. That's all they need. Hincapié over his own shoulder blasts it down forward, but it is hit and hope. They do pick up the loose ball though with Estupinian. He's moving forward on the left-hand side. Whips one into the box, but it's cut away easily. Ecuador battling for the next one. There's a big clash of heads in the D there. Free kick's gone against Ecuador, and suddenly the clash of heads no longer hurts for Jackson Barroso. Ecuador no position to waste any time at the moment. Ecuador 1, Senegal 2. Into injury time here at the Khalifa International Stadium. As it stands, Senegal 5 minutes away from the sensation. They've beaten Egypt this year in the African Cup of Nations final. They beat Egypt again on penalties both times to beat them in the final of African World Cup qualification. Now they could be about to claim their first win against a South American team in World Cup history, and with it the African champions would have a spot in the last 16. Their exit 4 years ago at the group stage is one of the most uniquely painful ways to go out. They went out on fair play points, having been level, so close to being able to go through, missing out on the shortest of short straws. That could all be behind them. Hernan Galindez, the goalkeeper, is down on his haunches in the Ecuador penalty area, but he's not called upon right now. He must have been thinking just about going up, because Ecuador have a corner on the right hand side. This is not quite last chance saloon territory, but it's not far away from it. Corner ball towards the back stick. Mendy has to palm it behind. There'll be another corner over on the other side. That was difficult for Edouard Mendy. He's an established goalkeeper, Mendy, and it's a good thing too for Senegal. The 30-year-old knows his stuff because he was backpedaling, went past the back post. Looked as though Ahmed Dieng had just kicked it away, not willing to enter a challenge against three Ecuador defenders. Just wanted to waste some time, but actually he'd been given offside. That one's punted into the penalty area. Ecuador almost picking up at the back post, but they'll get another throw-in down on their left, level with the edge of the Senegal penalty area. Nervy moments now. Everybody in this ground is looking extremely tense. Players, coaches, everyone. Ecuador launch one into the box again. It's glanced on. A couple of players hit the ground, but drifted across the face of goal. Wasn't a bad effort with the cross from Jeremy Sarmiento. Flicked it with his right foot and it was headed on. But it wasn't going to catch the back post. And nobody could pick up the second flick on either. Less than 2 minutes remaining now. Ecuador 1, Senegal 2. Aliou Cissé's team going through in second place as it stands. They had to win this to qualify, and they're in position to do so. Blue line will be withdrawn. Moses Caicedo with both arms around the waist of Boulaye Dia, pushing him like a train to try and get him off the playing surface here at the Khalifa International Stadium. Referee's not having anything of it. Clement Turpin comes in, gets himself in the middle of the two. Caicedo, the goal scorer for Ecuador earlier on, trying to push Dia off the pitch. He's been replaced by Pape Abou Cissé. Win the aerial battle. So many yellow shirts forward. The ball's in the Senegal half.